Well, well, well. Welcome, icons, sovereign souls. Welcome to the Dabbrad Show. I like the Dabbrad Show. Has a nice ring to it. Welcome, welcome. Today's lessons that we're going to learn today is the natal chart. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through the collective natal chart reading and some of the universal laws. So I'm happy to bring this to you guys, some better understanding about energies, how universal law works, and what we're all collectively feeling and seeing right now. The Schuman resonance determines a lot of consciousness that hits the planet in a wide variety of energies. Some of us are feeling it more so than others. And if you're conscious of it, then you know specifically what I'm talking about. And you know specifically when we get blasted with these energies. For those that don't know what the color spectrums mean on the chart, here is a color guide that kind of shows you where all these specific energies are coming from and how intense they are. Notice on the chart here, you have the red energies. There's a super high energy. Orange is moderately high energy. Yellow, which is the active energy. Green's calm energy. So if you see the green in your chart, that can kind of dictate our integrations, or that's just our natural state of energy. White, which is whiteout or immeasurable energy. Black, which is the timeline or spatial shifts, timeline shifts of energy when you see black in the chart. And purple, which is angelic intervention. So a lot of the time lately, our charts have been off the chain with this immeasurable, super high angelic energy. And it can make us kind of go crazy in a sense if you're not aware of it, or the ones around us go crazy if they're not aware of it either. So we have to be aware of these energies because they're at play right now. So as you can see here in the Schuman, we've been getting blasted for the past 48 hours. To the left side of your screen is the day yesterday. We got blasted with that white immeasurable energy that you're seeing and a little bit of the red energy there, which is high energy. And to the right of the screen, you see two blasts of white spikes coming in from higher realms, densities of consciousness. So we can directly kind of correlate when these spikes happen to us either feeling emotionally conflicted with high energy, drained of our energy, not being able to get out of bed, or feeling just sluggish. Or some of us are energetic, alive, ready to take on the world, ready to run a marathon, and we just don't know how to burn off all this energy. So it affects everyone differently. Notice how we also got blasted in our sleep last night with these two energy bars that's going off the charts, one going all the way down here. And if we can kind of zoom in here, you see the purples coming in where we have a lot of angelic intervention going on at the bottom, along with this integration of these energies. The blue and the green being our regular calming energy, and the whites and the red and the orange being the high, immeasurable, intense energy that we've been getting blasted with all morning. These two streaks that you see, these three streaks, really four white streaks, major ones. There's actually more than that, actually, but these happened overnight last night. Starting with this first one here, happening last night around 10 Eastern and going into the night. And then this one happening this morning at around 5 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Waking people up out their sleep or making you extremely tired when you can't get out of bed. This just goes to show you that things in the background are revealing and moving pieces are happening that we can't perceive and see. And a lot of the times we engage with energies of other people, not knowing that they're also influenced by such energies. So it's good to be aware of this whole process whenever the Schuman does go off, because it directly correlates to humanity's consciousness and our own sanity as well. So whenever we can safely to say that when the Schuman does go off, it does interact with consciousness around us, including our own consciousness. And once we have a better understanding, or understanding, I should say, of tapping into these energies, we can then navigate and co-create our reality more efficiently, knowing that these things are happening in the background and in the light spectrums that we just don't see. This is knowledge that they don't want to share to us, that we have to learn and teach ourselves and our children to really understand our reality to what it is. Because if you truly knew the things in our reality that we can control, then we could take back our reality right now at will. Hence why this is not being taught in our school systems and not really in our history books, but it's a new concept of thinking. But look at all this energy that you're seeing as multidimensional consciousness that's affecting not only us, but the planet at large. And it has a lot to do with what we do in our daily lives and how we do things once you see this energy taking place. Here is the level of consciousness chart. Now, this is probably the simpler way of showing the different levels of density, and there's a lot of different influencers out here that all have their different perspectives. Some people say there's thousands of levels of consciousness. But from my understanding and my research, in this harmonic universe, there's 15 known densities and dimensions in consciousness, 12 of them being in physicality, meaning that you are a physical soul being living a physical experience before you enter into these higher realms and you're not physical anymore. You become light body yourself. So what you're looking at here are the 12 densities and dimensions of physicality for humanity. And if you noticed, all of them are color coded to represent the different frequency levels and density levels of our reality. It also kind of looks like the chakra alignments as well, being that the first density level down here at the bottom is in our root chakra. That's where shame, death, humiliation, feeling miserable, creating your own hell for yourself is obliged. Also, the second chakra being the second density level being in the second chakra, and with it being orange. Also, grief, apathy, guilt, it resonates and vibrates at a low frequency. And then you see the first dimension level of consciousness, which is third dimension. That is where humanity has been at for our whole known existence, at least in our modern history. In other history books, they probably said that we were in a higher level here. But let's just go off of what we know. So for our whole modern existence, we've been operating only out of our solar plexus, our sacral, and our root chakras. We haven't necessarily tapped into this higher space of existence as of yet that we know of. Hence why it's in the third density, third dimension. With this level of consciousness, we kind of create pride. Some of us have the courage to start to step out of our comfort zones. We have anger, desires, fears. Also notice the frequency resonance that it starts out in third density. It doesn't really go above 200 hertz frequency. A lot of things can develop with hate, craving, anxieties, antagonizing, disappointment, frightening. They can be overcome with fear or having fear, using their energy positively or negatively. Hyperactivity, mental illnesses, suffering, drug intoxications, feeling like we're in purgatory and we need to get off of this planet. Some people have those feelings of that dense energy. Hell. Third density was a real dense time, keeping us in our sacral and solar plexus. And that's how you know that we're in a new state of being, a new reality right now, because everything is different. The whole system of energy that we once knew is now a whole new different system of energies. And when you start to go into fourth density or fourth dimension, there is an inherent decision that happens in our thought processes. Fourth dimension is all about neutrality, oneness, acceptance, willingness. It also is the density that allows the spirit realm and our reality to merge together seamlessly. So when people are looking for ETs, UFOs, orbs, apparitions, elementals, that whole realm merges with our reality instantly, which is probably what most of us are seeing now in lower 4D. We start to realize that the ET realm and the spirit realm are in the same realm. We start to accept life for what it is. And we have an inherent decision to make, because from this polarity, there's still a negative and positive polarity in fourth density, meaning that you can choose to be fourth density positive or fourth density negative. But whatever you choose, you gravitate towards. So if you choose to be negative, you will invite and attract negative people around you. If you choose to be positive, then you're a lighthouse and you'll attract positive people around you, even more so than it was in third density. Notice also in fourth density, the colors of the chakra is running off the heart chakra, which is a really important thing to notice, because the heart chakra dictates how the collective is feeling right now. Everybody having unconditional love from each other, speaking from the heart, which is a higher chakra, because for our whole existence, we've been only operating out of our solar plexus, our root, and our sacral, our carnal desires, seeing things one perspective. Now we're able to be compassionate for each other, to have compassion and empathy, and to think with our hearts more or less than what we physically see in our reality. So that's a really important step for humanity. It also is a turning point, because this is when the healing frequencies start kicking in to heal the body. Between 200 and I would say 500 hertz frequencies, the fourth density reality has a huge part to play in healing humanities from the inside and out. It brings optimism, trust, hopefulness, harmonious situations in life, making your life feel more meaningful, having meaning to the things that you do, stepping out with passion in your life, being happy and productive. It's all a part of fourth density consciousness. Having a super mind, transcending the things in your past and making that lemonade out of those lemons, getting by, being in the zone, having that flow of energy, allowing things to flow through you. And you don't feel like you're in purgatory no more. You feel like you have a importance in life. You feel like you're here for a reason. Part of fourth density is the men behind the curtain get revealed to reality, and we kind of get to see how everything works in our universe. We kind of get to see who's pressing the buttons, who source is, what source is, who's assisting with this energy. I like to say the men behind the curtain or beyond the veil. And that's what I think most of the collective is actually witnessing and experiencing now. Now, where we are heading to as a collective, and I think we're actually at this point now as a collective, and most of us are here, is a new humanity consciousness, which is right in between 5D and 4D. It's really in lower 5D because we're operating out strictly from the as a regular operating from the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So basically being able to speak our truths, having inner love for each other, oneness, joy, sharing inner wisdom with each other, which is a part of your throat chakra, being able to share that wisdom, that knowledge, and to have love and unconditional love behind it, backing of what you're saying. So there's nothing superficial about what you're speaking. Healing energies from speaking to people will be a regular thing in this collective. To speak your truth, and your truth resonates to many souls that are here. Things in life become meaningful. Understanding things, having reverence and connections to things. You start to find meaning in your life. Stepping out with passion with things. This is also a turning point for humanity when we start experiencing the synchronicities and the extraordinary outcomes that life has to offer once we start tapping into this higher frequency. You start seeing synchronicities happening for yourself. It's a state of mind as well. Having reverence to these connections. Life starts to become paradise. So you start to see the opportunity of it becoming paradise with a higher mind once you start tapping into this higher state of consciousness. And now you're not strictly running off your root chakra or your chakral or your solar plex, but you're actually operating from all of them, including your heart chakra and your throat chakra. That's where the bar is going to be set for humanity. But just because the bar is set doesn't mean that there's not souls who've already surpassed that bar, which there are. Many of us have already risen up this chart to the highest level of consciousness for humanity and are experiencing it at such a high degree that they almost left everybody around them in the dust, which makes it very difficult for you and your reality to have to deal with people who aren't aligned for their highest good and who aren't aware of what's going on because of this. As you see here, after new humanity consciousness, there's 15th dimension, which is fifth density. Having oneness, presence of joy, feeling blissful for yourself, serene, life is perfect, everything is complete, how you view life. You allow things to happen for yourself, and you don't block your own blessings. You also get the synchronicities and extraordinary outcomes, but you have more of an illuminated higher mind to your perceptions. Things come to you naturally, and the information that you seek will find you. You start to understand the concept of as above, so below. You start to understand the universal law concepts. And you start to co-create your reality until your own heaven. Because you have to remember, we are all sovereign souls of source. They have the ability to co-create our realities at will when we choose to. We also have the power to be manipulated if we allow our power to be taken over. But when you connect to source in this degree, and you're at this higher state of consciousness, you already are co-creating your reality. The next levels of consciousness are the 6th and 7th density, which is the I am presence, which a lot of souls here are already there, having that super awareness, the non-duality, the presence of peace and love, blissful, feeling life is perfect, allowing things to happen, not standing in their own way, having these experiences with the synchronicities and the extraordinary outcomes, the manifestations start rolling in. And you also notice it's operating out of your pineal, third eye chakra. A lot of seers who are seeing orbs, different light spectrums, beings of a higher consciousness and density and dimension are operating already in 7th density consciousness with their third eye chakras wide open. 8th, 9th, and 10th density goes more into the lower crown chakra, where you have enlightenment, divine grace and love. Things is what they are. It is what it is. You allow things to move through you effortlessly. Allowing things to happen. Even more extraordinary outcomes happen for yourself because you're hyper aware of your surroundings and situations. Information finds you a lot faster than it finds other people. just falls in your lap by design, consciously, when you tap into that level of consciousness. And it starts to open your crown chakra, being that you're activating your lower crown. Now, the highest levels, notice it's crystalline here, at the top, 12th dimension in physicality, 11th and 12th dimensions, full consciousness, running off 1,000 hertz frequency. Truly, I think that's what the 144 is if you add up all the chakra points and you add up all the hertz and you're running on all cylinders with all your chakras open, it adds up to 144,000. That's the 144,000 when you're running on all cylinders and you're hyper aware of your surroundings. You know that you have this divine connection to source. You know you're a co-creator of your reality. You are making the things happen in your reality. You're manifesting the things you want, your desires, your dreams, and you're able to help the collective in your own unique way. That's when you reach the 144,000. There are some people born with all their chakras open, but over time, their chakras get closed because of the way our matrix was and is. Not so much anymore now that you are empowering yourself as a sovereign soul of source, and you're able to rise above these situations once you are conscious of your own realities. But knowing that you can tap into this in a physical realm, in your physical bodies, goes to show how powerful humanity is and how powerful the human body really is expressing these energies, what we really can do. And it just kind of clears up a lot. It makes it more simplified for everyone interested in learning this. But just know that in harmonic universe 1, which is the universe that we currently are in, there's 15 known densities. In the last 3, 13th, 14th, and 15th, 15th being source, and the other 2 being the angelic realms, the original flames of the universe, the emerald, the indigo, violet, and golden flames. That's where these lines, these angelic lines, are coming from higher densities. Some people are tapped into that energy too. But in physicality, to make it make sense, this is the chart that you can kind of refer to help you out on your journey. I wanted to share some evidence that our reality has changed, because everybody loves to see evidence. The evidence kind of dictates for us collectively that things are happening at a high rate. And it's always good to share the evidence which you're seeing, document it, and save it for a rainy day, because it might help change somebody else's life when they can experience the same things you experienced and it's validated. It's hard to validate experiences when we don't have, some of us need tangible evidence. I'm going to play this video here just for you guys to see how our reality is changing and things that we've never perceived or seen before are happening.
Y'all check this out. Like this cloud that the sun is hiding behind has broke through. Looks like a spotlight. And then it carries over. All the way over to here. Is that not the coolest thing? It's like I'm under a giant canopy. Huh.
Just one of the things to tell you that we are not in Kansas no more. We are in a whole new echelon of physics and universal laws that are being applied to our reality that's now being visible to the average person, waking up everyone. Sharing those experiences is very important. Hence why I created a Telegram channel to share experiences like that. Because it validates that you're not only having a celestial experience as a sovereign soul source, but you can also validate that others are having them as well, and that you're not crazy. The first thing that we have to do is come together to raise our vibrations and share these experiences, so we all know that we're all in the same this. Where we go one, we go all. All experiences are meant to happen the way they're supposed to happen, to help the collective advance in its thought process, in this reality. Just remember that. We'll be back after this non-commercial break. And we're back noticing the 12 laws of the universe. If there's any other laws that you go by with source, it's these laws. Not the laws written by man, but the laws of the universe and how they go. Most of them are moral compass laws, things that you're already doing naturally. We're going to go through some of these, all of them actually. Law number 1, the law of divine oneness. We are all connected. You and I are connected. The rocks are connected to us. The water, the trees, the air we breathe, the light that's coming into our windows. Everything is connected. The sun is connected to us. The dirt on the ground is connected to us. When people say that, like, our fingerprints look like tree stumps when you cut the trees down and they have the rings, there's a connection. Everything is connected. People say that our eyes look like galaxies and universes. Everything's connected. Law number 2, the love and law of vibration. Each particle in the universe is made of energy. Everything's made of energy. Everything that we can touch and see, even things that aren't there, is made of energy. Kind of explains what matter and antimatter is. Because even though there's an absence of matter, doesn't necessarily mean it's not there. So that goes along with saying that the law of vibration, everything is made of energy, everything has a vibratory frequency, and can be kind of malleable once you reach that frequency or whatever the object is. I've literally seen people bend glass when they can vibrate the glass at a certain frequency. Glass then becomes soft and bendable. Everything's made of energy. Law 3, the law of action. To achieve something, one must take action. You have to do or implement something in that process to become a thing. If you want to finish the race, you first have to start the race. If you don't take action on things, if you don't speak it into existence, then it will never become. That's what the law of action is. If you want to cross the finish line, you have to start the race first. You got to put your skin in the game. That's also how it comes with our voices. When we have to speak things into existence, this goes along with that energy. Kind of says closed mouths don't get fed, but they don't get fed here if you don't speak. So you have to take action in order to achieve something. You have to achieve something, you have to take that action. You have to start the process. Law 4, law of correspondence. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. As above, so below. Everything is connected. What you internalize inside is reflected on the outside. That's why they say when things need to be healed from the inside, those traumas, and you don't heal those things, they can be a direct reflection on how you convey them to others. How you love yourself is a reflection of how you love others. How you take information in and share it to others is a reflection of this law. Everything is corresponding to each other. What you do in the dark, it's shown in the light. So your intentions are everything with this. If you intend to do something, it gets projected outwardly because of the actions that you take. The law of attraction. which is the fifth law. Like attracts like. This is a huge one. What you put out is what people see and what people like and exposed to, which goes with the intentions. So if you are generally a happy-go-lucky, nice person, and you put out loving energy, you're going to attract happy, nice people that also put out loving energy and resonate with that. If you're a negative Nancy, or you blame others for your issues, you're going to attract people who are sociopaths, narcissists, that blame people for their issues, and are also negative, even more so than it was in the past, because we're in these higher frequencies. Law of attraction is heavily at play here. So just remember that when you're out, and whatever you put out there to the universe is what you attract to you. Law number 6, law of cause and effect. You get back whatever you sent into the universe. This goes along with karma. What you put in is what you're getting back. So if you put in the dedication, hard work, you persevere from it, you get rewarded back for those things. If you are a person that wants to seek revenge and is deceitful, you're going to get that back 7 times fold. What you put in is what you get back in this universe. Even more so now that we're in these higher frequencies and density now. So just remember this law when you do unto others as you want yourself, because it gets amplified even more now in this higher frequency. Law of compensation. Number 7, you get as good as you give. If you're a selfless person and you love to give and help people, then you get that back in many ways. But if you don't like to give at all and you like to shortcut things, then you're going to get shortcuts in life and energy as well. Just remember, you can't take everything with you in this reality. And you can get back the riches and losses that you had lost more so now than ever. Kind of the same way you get what you give, but this can help the people that have a hard time giving. Because if you have a hard time giving someone your energy and your all, then you can't be mad when the people around you are giving you back that energy, if that's what you're putting out there. Number 8, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. The universe keeps changing, and it's effortlessly changing all the time. If you notice now, we get new updates on information on a regular basis. Time isn't linear. It's always moving. The universe is always evolving. And as the universe evolves, we evolve. Our planet is always evolving. As our planet evolves, we evolve. It never stops changing. Just like how we go through all of our houses and planets, the same way the universe goes. It's constantly in motion. Law of relativity. Number 9, every individual is tested by the universe. We have a test and we have a mission to be here while we're tested, and the universe will test us all the time, just to make sure that you're on your path and you are correct of the lesson that you're supposed to be learning. Everything is relative. There's a meaning for you to be in the position that you're in. There's a meaning for you to be on the path that you're on. It's not by coincidence that you're in these things and you're doing such things and you're interested in such things. This is by design. It's relative. And that's the universe testing you to make sure that you're on your path. The people that you meet that cross your path, the things that you discover and learn on this journey are all important. Pushing you closely and effortlessly, can't get that word out, to your end mission, your end goal. Number 10, law of love and law of rhythm. Everything goes through cycles, rhythm, and patterns, okay? The planets go through cycles, rhythm, and patterns. We go through cycles, rhythm, and patterns. all the time through our whole life and existence on this planet. The universe goes through patterns, rhythms, and cycles. So knowing that, you have to know these patterns and cycles or understand these parts of yourself to really fully understand the people around you and why they act the way they do. Some people's cycles might not be aligned to your pattern and your cycle. And it might be a lesson there for you to learn those things so you know why people act the way they do. It might not be their time. Even though time is a man-made thing, there's a time and place energetically for things to allow in that person's future. So knowing this, you know that if everything is in these cycles and patterns, you can help you navigate when to insert yourself or not to help allow that energy to flow better. The law of polarity. Everything in the universe has an opposite. Everything. Everything's got a complete opposite to each other. Just like antimatter and matter, electrons and neutrons, they all have an opposite. I almost want to say every sun has a companion star. There's an opposite to everything. And once you come to that understanding of knowing this, then you start to see how our reality really unfolds, how everything has an opposite. Law of gender. This is a huge one here. This is what a lot of us are perceiving here in this reality. This is very important. All things have masculine and feminine components. Okay, there's a divine feminine and masculine in our universe. There are some beings that have both components, but they're not human. Human is either divine feminine or divine masculine. Now there have been instances where people have both, but they lean towards one side or the other. There's no blending of both. The fact that they forced that onto us just goes to show you how they tried to hide what the true power of the divine feminine and masculine actually is for us. Because it does have a lot of part to play of who we are and how we do things. And when they can invert it, make it confusing, mock it, they are further showing you the power of that whole law here, of the law of gender. Blending it together so that there's no genders, that's going against the universal law right there. So just know these laws because they will help get you through life a lot easier when you don't go through the laws of man, you go through the laws of source, the divine creator, which is already set and ingrained in our universe since day one. All the ETs and different higher dimensional beings follow this. The divine Christos, Yeshua ben Joseph, or they like to call him Jesus Christ, follows these laws. All the ascended masters follow these laws. These are natural laws of the universe that's ingrained into our reality that they tend to skip over because man wants to control things. So if you can really tap into and understand these laws, your life will be a lot easier and smoother in this reality. This is what it looks like for humanity right now. It looks like this. This is our chart. Now, going into these aspects, we have to kind of remember that everything is changing in our whole scheme of things, especially our planets. They constantly change all the time. They don't actually, especially the moon sign, stay in our charts for long. The moon actually changes every 2 days. We just left an Aquarius moon, and now we're in a Pisces moon. Pisces moons meaning that our emotions are idealistic. We're like receptive to nature with things. We're really receptive to energies. Our moods are changing. It's like everyone else will be feeling the need to kind of retreat the urgency of the world around us and kind of create our own bubble of reality because of being in a Pisces moon. It might be pretty much overwhelming for some people. Or you might be able to tap into that part of yourself and your own environment and really perceive the reality in its deepest levels right now, given that everybody is embarking in this Pisces moon energy right now. Now, granted, Mercury is a communication planet. It's how we communicate with each other. It's also how we communicate with ourselves. And it's in Leo right now. It's a quick moving planet. It only spends about 2 or 3 weeks in each signs, and it's in retrograde. It might spend longer. But Mercury's in Leo's, they're the Mercury in Leo kind of makes the collective very flamboyant on communicating their words, using extra finesse in communicating, making great interest in impressing others with mental energy, being more animated and sharing their ideas right now, which I feel like the collective is doing, speaking their truth even more. But being that it's in retrograde, it's forcing everybody to be observers of this energy. And for some people, depending on your alignment in Mercury, it might not affect you as much, but it will affect the person that's next to you or around you that isn't conscious that this is happening. But for the collective, we're all being rigid in our conversations. We're being extra flamboyant on finding information, researching, sharing what we've learned to each other, and really speaking out. And this is a very important thing for the collective right now. Another thing I noticed too for the collective reading is that our Venus is in Virgo right now at 20 degrees. So it's making everybody go into a love of nature, looking at the details for things, being more practical in our pursuit to love and how we love each other, going at it from the basics, being very mindful of your purchases right now, being very mindful of your expenses because Venus does rule our expenses, our finances, being practical of how we spend our money, being practical about how we find the people that we care about. So Venus in Virgo has a lot to do with what's happening right now, with how we love people. Another thing I noticed too is also Mars being in Gemini at 21 degrees. Mars is the action planet. It's how we take action. It's also the section aggression planet, how we assert ourselves. And since it's in that plane of energy of Gemini, there's more energy to engage in mental stimulations with things right now than ever. Intellectual energy is running rampant right now. Everybody is wanting to research, wanting to share their thoughts. They have an abundance of energy to research and learn, and they're focusing a lot of their energy into discovering these hidden truths for the collective more so than others. Now, depending on what your degrees are, it can actually affect you on a spiritual level, which I go through in the readings. But for the collective, we're all spiritually seeing things more so than we've ever had. There's a drive, an intellectual drive that's coming through the collective, forcing us to use our brains and to think fast, stimulating our minds to a level that we've never been stimulated before. I feel like it's by design for us to go through this experience right now, being that this Gemini's in Mars right now. Kind of crazy to think about. The collective is moving fast, man. And I think maybe we'll do one more aspect. We'll do one more aspect here. Let's see here. Jupiter is in Gemini. 17 degrees. Interesting. See, Jupiter is a planet of expansion and abundance, and it spends about a year in each sign. So a lot of us already have this in our chart since it spends a year in there. Um, it's like Jupiter and Gemini, it's especially in the beginning of this 1 year period, is like an opportunity for people to have good fortune whenever they put their mind is stimulated with things and allowed to experience something new. So if anything creative and new that we can experience, things happen in luck for us. We crave mental energy right now. This is an important time to learn new subjects, to dive into new opportunities because it's in Gemini, and to teach people as well because people are craving mental stimulation more so than not. So this would be a good time for the collective to drop any information about the collective that we need to know that has been hidden from us. And if it has been hidden, it's now being pursued because everyone is now consciously wanting to know more. It's like a thirst for knowledge, being that it's in Gemini. It makes sense. And that's what we're here to do. Collectively, we're here because it's in Gemini, is to make it make sense for everyone. The people that surround you, yourself, everyone. I try to make it make sense as much as I can. Notice how we're all kind of lined up on one side of the chart here, too. A lot of us are just here, and this one side of the chart here, we're all existing and operating because all of our planets are on one side. And it can lead to revolutionary experiences happening, which is happening in front of our eyes. It's just an exciting time to live in, guys, and experience and be a part of, which we all decided to choose when we incarnated on this plane. I'm just excited about this. I know a lot of you icons out there are excited too. It can be a little bit overwhelming a little bit because we know we see the end of the finish line. We see what's happening in front of our eyes, and we kind of just want to get there. We want this to be over, but everything has to happen for a reason and through the process of it happening the way it happened. Just know that you are here by design. You're here for a reason. You're here to share your light. You're here to share your love. You're here to learn something new. Your energies definitely help our reality. And when you learn something new, you're able to apply it to your reality at the best you can because you are a sovereign soul source that has the ability to change their reality at will, anytime, anywhere. So much so that we're all co-creating our realities and overlapping each other instantly. You want to see unicorns and dragons? You're seeing unicorns and dragons. You want to see ETs and aliens? You're seeing ETs and aliens. You want to see a free world and liberation for humanity? Well, you're seeing it. You want to not be around people? Well, that can happen just naturally. You want to see Big Mike come out? Well, you're seeing Big Mike come out. Just these things that are happening, your desires, your wants are becoming reality through these manifestations once you truly believe in these things. Just know that you're that powerful of a soul that you can manifest these things in your reality, and your thoughts control your reality. And some of you lighthouses here are lighthouses. You are literally the lights for the rocks for your family, the people, the ones shining the light, carrying the torch. Strangers just like to come up to you and talk to you randomly, and you connect to them at a deeper level than most of your friends. That's also designed in your chart for some of you. So you were meant to be here to hold that torch and to carry that light and to shine that light. And I'm glad that icons, Sarge, Heidi, Zig, and all the beautiful souls that are here re-empowering ourselves and applying it to our realities to make our reality the way we want it to be and not what people tell us it has to be. I'll leave my links, guys, in the descriptions if you guys want readings. I appreciate all you icons that have gotten readings from me in the past couple weeks. It's been a journey learning that everybody's connected, and everybody that's gotten a reading from me, honestly, is part of my soul family, which is the amazing part. We all are seeking each other. We're all finding knowledge. We're all finding out we are all kind of connected, and we all kind of know each other, even though we never met each other in this life, which makes it even more fascinating. If you want a reading from me, I'll leave the links to contact me and my socials in the description. Just be sure to tell me that you're interested in the reading and give me some time to respond, because I respond to all the comments and the messages for all you icons and beautiful people. So I'd love to see what you guys have to say. And this is the inaugural episode of the Dabbrad Show. I think we kind of hammered it out here. I hope that like we can be in a better prowess once we start understanding ourselves more, which is the intention of my readings, and to help you get closer to who you are as an individual. Because it's all by design when you look at our natal charts and how the things work and why we do the things we do. There's no reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're here, and you resonate with Sarge and Heidi and myself. Because we're made of the same stuff. We're from the same places. It's ingrained in our soul imprint. And once you discover that or hear it from a total stranger, you start to understand that we're all connected beyond the views of this physical spectrum, this realm. So I hope this episode helps kind of bring that a little closer to the collective. I hope this shines a light for people that had a hard time understanding the Schuman. I love you guys. I love all the sovereign souls having a human experience right now, because this is the most amazing experience that we can ever envision and dream of. Hence why we decided to incarnate at this time. Keep shining your light. Keep being you. Keep being the leader for your area, for your community, for your family, for the collective. And pretty soon this is going to be over, and we're going to be really living our dreams. Until then, guys, stay in high vibrations, stay in love. Check out my TikTok. I go live on TikTok on Wednesdays and Sundays, where we do breakdowns on all the multidimensional beings that we're all seeing. I hope this live was informative for you. Until then, guys, stay free, stay high vibes, stay at peace, protect your energy, stay in love, and stay in compassion. Blessings to you all.